This is Gadget Stop 321. In today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Conklin Minigraph in the Purple Sands finish. This is a pocket pen from Conklin. It's got a screw cap, a metal, chrome-plated, I guess, section. This is probably the slipperiest section I've ever held, so I typically hold it back here. It's a cartridge pen, standard international short cartridges only, and the threads that thread the body to the section are metal threads on metal section, so those are, you know, nice and smooth. The threads, these are metal threads on the section, and this is the inside of the cap. The threads are the resin. So I'm usually pretty careful when I thread the cap on, because I have had it want to cross thread on me and I don't want to strip the threads. It's got the iconic Conklin clip. It's a pretty, pretty tight clip. It's scaled down just a little bit for this mini pen. On the cap band, it has Minigraph. It looks like it's screen printed on there. So I'm curious to see how well that holds up over time. When you post this pen, it posts securely. There's not a cap insert, so it's just, you know, the cap itself posting on there, and that resin on resin holds pretty good. This, unlike one of the pocket pens that I've reviewed before, the Petite One. The Petite One is a small pen, but when you post it, for all intents and purposes, you've got a full-size pen. The section is full-size. You feel like you're using a full-size pen. The Minigraph falls into that category of pocket pen that seems like just a completely scaled down regular design fountain pen. If you looked at this in a picture, you wouldn't be able to tell that it was a pocket pen unless it was up next to something for reference. So that's something to consider. It is, even when you post it, it's a somewhat small pen, and if you hold it back, if you don't want to hold the slippery section, you hold it even farther back. That makes it even shorter back here. I think this is a number 3 nib. It says iridium point, extra fine, and I'll come back to the nib in just a minute. Let's see, what else was I wanting to... Well, I might as well go ahead and address the nib now. When I got this pen, the nib was in horrible shape, and you may be able to see right now the feed is very lopsided. But I don't think that has caused any issues as far as writing goes. But when I first got the pen, the nib was super scratchy. I bent around on it. I didn't have any micro mesh at the time. It was unusable in the condition that I got it. I had been on a waiting list for this pen forever because I was really into pocket pens at the time, and I didn't have the patience to send it back. So I had seen on the internet that you could use the bottom of a ceramic cup in a pinch to smooth out a nib. So I was able to smooth it out enough to make it usable, but it still wasn't pleasant. So I got out the micro mesh earlier today and made a few passes over it. Now it's a pleasant pen to write with as far as smoothness goes. You still have to deal with the discomfort of, you know, the issues with the section. But to me, this is a pen for just short notes. This isn't for journaling or anything like that. In fact, when I got this pen, I envisioned using it in my traveler's notebook, and I got actually I already had the pen loop, but it just ended up making a cute little setup. It's cute, but over time I realized this style of pocket pen and this small traveler's notebook wasn't my favorite. I like it for short notes. In fact, I use it if I see a quote or something that I like, I'll jot it down in here. Let's see. So it's a nice little thing for things like that. Do little pen tests in it, and this would be good for throwing in your purse for grocery lists and things like that. But I had envisioned this as a little travel journal, and it just didn't work out like that. The pen itself, I just love the way it looks. It's like a tortoiseshell finish with a little purple thrown in there. And I picked this color specifically because I already had some Iroshizuku Murasaki Shikibu, and that color just matches this and looks really good. It's a good pen and ink pair. I'm going to do just a real quick writing sample. This is an extra fine. I guess yeah. Should have had this out ready to go. We've been studying for Algebra 2 around here. Okay, so this is going to be quite a bit finer than the Lamy logo, which is also extra fine. Let me see, it feels like the nib might be a little loose. I'm not sure, I'll have to check that. This is the desert, or the Purple Dunes. Yeah, something is loose here. Oh, this, that was loose. Okay. Let's see. The nib is smoother than it was. Much more pleasant to write with. It's a little bit on the dry side. Not bad. I don't think I've had any trouble with it hard starting or anything like that, but it does write a little dry. And that is the Conklin Minigraph. If you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel.